Bringing you another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. We'll keep this. I mean, we have a turn one of the rack, and we have a turn two of the rack, or we can go, if we draw, hopefully we'll draw a land. Bowmasters into Dark Deal. Start punishing our opponent. Oh, Thoughtseize. So we can do Bowmasters and the rack, or Thoughtseize in the rack. And hopefully the Dark Deal will mess with our opponent. Archetype of Aggression, Olivia, Mind Sparker, Hero's Downfall, Heart of Kieran. Interesting hand. We'll take the Heart of Kieran because that is their next play. Play another the rack. I mean, we could have set ourselves up for Bowmasters that turn. Bowmasters in the Dark Deal, and I would have been more inclined had we actually drawn a land. But now we're still waiting on finding a land. And this Lightning Bolt might wreck our fun, but what we'll do is hopefully draw a land, pass the turn, flash in Bowmasters. Alright, Urza Saga is a good land. So our opponent's definitely on a brew, which is sweet. We're going to Bowmasters into Dark Deal and hopefully punish them for whatever they... Oh, man, they're going to have a Lightning Bolt. Well, might as well get the party started. They're missing a land drop. So we may hold off on the Dark Deal until after they bolt the Bowmasters. I just don't think I want to pull the trigger on Dark Deal yet. I'd rather them tap out and just take two here and save their bolt. Hopefully they'll save their bolt for something else. We would like to see them make a land drop, play this Olivia or something like that. We'll make a Urza Saga token, and then at the end, on their end step, and then Dark Deal on our turn. Kill whatever creature they play, make a gigantic army. Oh, they did go for it. Boo and hiss. Oh well. I mean, that was the risk we ran running out the Orcus Bowmasters on knowing that they had a bolt and they had missed a land drop. We could have held back. But then again, our opponent might just be missing land drops, and this is going to be an Urza Saga win, but they have a handful of 3-drops and then something else. So we'll just go get a Lava Spur Boots and swing in for a whole lot, basically. See if our opponent can come back from their mana screw. So far, I mean, our opponent has not seen anything that would suggest this is a brew out of our deck. But I mean, it is what it is. We work with the draw we had. They answered our combo piece for this Dark Deal. Alright, well, so we're playing against a Rakdos deck. I kind of just want to run it back. Since we play an alternative sideboard plan, I don't want to just, like... Alright, now we have a Waste Knot. Sweet. Sweet, sweet. Love me a Waste Knot. Don't Thoughtseize this, man. I really don't want to just abandon our game plan just because we have... Just because that's what because we have an alternative sideboard and our opponent knows we're a discard deck. They're Rakdos. I don't think they're going to have a ton of things to... bring in against the rack. I mean, they may have a Braids or something like that, or Brotherhood's End. Hopefully we don't get Thoughtseize because I really want to stick this Waste Knot and then start Thoughtseizing ourselves to gain value. So yeah, this is my one of my Keeping Modern Janky decks that I'm trying out. Waste Knot Tinybones combo, where we're looking to make our opponent discard for value. I'm glad our opponent stuck it out and didn't just get the salty scoop, because what we played in game one was very much just a straight up mono black deck. Thoughtseize into Bowmasters, an Urza Saga win. Alright, Heart of Kieran. We don't really have an answer for Heart of Kieran because all we play are Toxic Deluges. We're just looking to, I guess, block it. We don't have many. We have flyers. We have, yeah. We're just gonna try to race the Heart of Kieran or Thoughtseize away whatever they have to use to crew it. Another Urza Saga is really not what we wanted to see. Avarice Dragon, huh? Alright. Interesting. Yeah, they discard their hand. We kind of want them to discard their hand, to be honest. Alright, well, the party has begun with the Urza Saga lands and the rack. They're at 5 cards with a handful of lands. So they've had some terrible luck. Let's be fair to our opponent. Just god-awful luck. This poor opponent, man. Got mana screwed in game 1. Major flood game 2. And we get a Shieldred. Which we will play. Start. I mean, this is a fast clock on our opponent now. 2-turn clock. And on top of that, an Urza Saga token that we can then make on our upkeep and then get Lava Spur Boots. And it will be a... I guess we could have played this Urza Saga. But either way, that's a really fast clock. So, I mean, this is our deck executing its game plan against a deck that's stumbling. Now we could have had super awkward draws out of our own deck that would have led us to not be able to take advantage of our opponent's stumbles. But Urza Saga, I mean, it's just a really powerful card. A Lightning Bolt a zombie, cool. Probably not going to play a land because they don't want to take damage off the rack. I would love to find a Dark Deal. A Dark Deal. Now we're comboing, folks. Now we are going to combo. Let's not forget. So I don't want to make a car instruct. I think we're just going to go get the rack. Number 2. Play another one. And then we are going to... I guess we should have held on to that for our own sake, but... Right now, we're more interested in executing this part of our game plan. Aha! And they win. We win the match. All right. So what were we gonna do? We were probably gonna get like 8 manas, and we were only gonna draw a couple cards. I mean, this isn't as powerful of a combo as it could have been. But man, that was sweet. Our opponent stumbled, obviously, on game 1 and game 2. We were able to. They had a 2-drop and a 2 4-drops, but we were able to strip their hand, and then they didn't really find much anything else. But that's kind of the idea of the deck, and I think so. I tried to make a video with the deck tag for this so many times this morning, and it just didn't come out right. And I think it's because of the tension of the deck. It's sort of contradictory in itself, like self-contradictory, oxymoron. On one hand, we want our opponent to get below a certain number of cards, and we're trying to actively make them discard. But on the other, we also want to punish them for drawing cards. But you see how it came together there in a beautiful way, right? Dark Deal, they have 4 cards in hand because they don't want to go below the rack. And I literally almost cut the rack this morning when I was making the video thinking, man, this is just not the right card. But the rack incentivizes our opponent to keep cards in their hand. Dark Deal punishes them alongside Shieldred or Orcish Bowmasters for having the cards in their hand. So yeah, I mean, that's exactly how I envisioned it. And it's just really hard. It's been really hard for me to talk about in a way that makes sense because I think it's just so contradictory in itself. But I think it's you can see how it works, right? The synergies are there, even though it seems contradictory. Now, is it going to be would it beat a traditional Rakdos Tier 1 deck in Modern? Probably not, but it was fun to see it come together, even against an opponent who was stumbling, in part because we Thoughtseize, they're 2 threats away. But All right, I'll run it back against another opponent. Thanks for sticking it out, opponent. GG's. And as always, this is Johnny Cycles for CyclesGaming.com. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. If you haven't already, check out my original Magic the Gathering content over at CyclesGaming.com. I write about my various commander decks. I post articles and video of my gameplay of my various modern janky brews, and I'm publishing my science fiction fantasy novel, The Podkind, serially. If you enjoy the content, check out my YouTube channel, Johnny Cycles, and click that subscribe button. Everybody counts. As always, thanks for watching. This is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all on the next one.